richest Ghanaian nurse.
There's been difference in the salary. Remember,
yes.
You know how to do it.
Hey lovelies, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharry. Talk about everything nursing and everything UK. So if these are things that you love, please consider subscribing and joining the awesome family. So today we have our sister here with us. She's, no, let me not give the introduction. Well, I'll term her as the most courageous nurse in the UK because most of us are band 5 nurses, and even band 5 is not easy. Talk less about hair band. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, hi, hello. Thank you for subscribing to Sharry's channel, and my name is Augustina Atega, originally from Ghana. I've been in the UK for almost 3 years. So just a bit of background, like when I qualified. So I worked in the ward back in Ghana. I've worked in the maternity and a female medical ward. And then I worked in the quality improvement office before I moved into the UK. So when I came into the UK, I decided to go into theatres. But to be honest, going into theatres wasn't something I was really looking for. But we know when you apply for these jobs and this unfortunate keeps coming, and then you just have to give your luck and then see which one you're going to get. And my husband had his admissions to come and study PhD, and when I went to track, that was the job available. And here I am in the UK. I worked in trauma theatres for 2.5 years, and in my current role for like almost 3 months now.
Okay, so for the sake of those who are not in the UK, or for the sake of those who don't know about the nursing band system, can you please give us a brief description about how the system is like?
When you speak in the perspective of international nurses, which I think most of us, when you're coming in, your trust it depends on the trust. Some trusts will start you on band 3 and some trusts will start you on band 4. So you come and pass your OSCE and then you become a newly qualified nurse in the UK, and that's the starting for all registered nurses as a band 5. And then band 6 will be supporting the managers who are band 7s of unit, and then from there you've got the unit heads as in matrons, you have the C, and then they are band 8, and you've got band 8A, and we have senior matrons who are band 8B. It keeps building up, and then to see chief nurse and officer, we've got deputy chief nurse and officer. And I think it's almost the same thing in Ghana. I don't know about other countries, but it's not like Ghana where you don't have to attend interview or apply for that. I think in Ghana most of the times it happens to you per your experience. But in the UK, if a job is being advertised, if you're a band 5 and you see a band 6 role, you need to apply for it and go for interview. No one is going to give it to you because you have the experience or they think you are good. No, someone probably might urge you and think, oh, they think you can do this job, but you always have to apply for it from whichever level you have to always apply for it.
I think your explanation to the band system is really good. We want to know what are some of the strategies you believe can help we nurses advance from one band system to the other.
And the first thing I'm going to talk about is our experiences from our home countries. Personally, I had qualified for almost 5 years before I came into the UK. But it's just that when you get into the country, you have to get your OSCE done. You have to navigate the cultural shocks and the differences to be able to fit into the system. That doesn't make you a newly qualified nurse. So far as you've gained all the competencies and you think you are confident enough, let them know the experience you bring on board, the things you have done back in your country, be able to preach about it, and in your everyday practice, let it be shown. So that's one of the things I will always urge international nurses not to look down upon, because I think that is what most of us have done. We think that, oh, so far as we get into the country, we are counting our nursing experience from when we get into the UK. No, you've got all these experiences from your home country, which is really relevant, and you should be able to boast and speak about them. The next thing I'm going to talk about is in the UK, there are so many learning opportunities. Most of us have got groups, one group, the Ghana Nurses group. In our individual trust as well, we've got these groups where people do post relevant things there, where you don't have to just be scrolling through. Sometimes people post learning opportunities, career advancement. You can roll on to better yourself. Personally, I got the chance to enroll on the Florence Nightingale Foundation of Nursing online program, which was really helpful. There were so many models that I did partake, and in my current role, or when I was applying for my role, it really helped me. And my current trust did put a program to just help international nurses, because they noticed that we've got about 54% of the workforce of nurses being international nurses. But when they check on from band 6 to band 8, that reflection is not there. So they came up with a program to help international nurses, and that program was for you to be able to embark on these band 6 courses, so that when you go for interviews, you'll be able to speak about some of these things that you have done, which was really good. So these 2 courses were the courses I had done before I applied for my current role. And then during appraisal, you want to talk to whoever you are doing your appraisal with, that these are some of the things you want to practice, and put it on your appraisal. Keep chasing it. Personally, I spoke to my manager that I wanted to be involved in interviewing, and I was given the chance. I was a band 5, but I was given the chance to interview. My first interview was actually a band 5. Yes, and I had just worked for like 1.5 years, but I had a chance to interview band 5
You
as
see
well.
why I said she's courageous and ambitious.
And my first interview, because back in Ghana, I was NMC praxis assessor. So this experience that I'm talking about, you've got this experience. When you come in, you want to build on that experience as well. And then I have shortlisted, done interviews, and these are things that when I was applying for my current role, I had to speak about them. You just don't assume people are going to know. You have to speak about it in your supporting information. So these are some of the things I would say are really relevant. And then on my ESR, I think every NHS staff have got my ESR. They've got courses there. Some of them you need to book onto for your manager to approve for you to have it done. Some of them you do it yourself on your own time, at your own pace. You don't pay for anything. You don't need anybody's permission to do them. And these are courses that I have done in my own time, just for me to know that if there is a job that I'm applying for, they're not going to be like, you don't have this training, you don't have this experience. But I have done them, so you don't really have so much cause to tell me that I don't have it. And this will tell you that even if it doesn't suit that post, this tells you that I am someone who is ready and willing to learn. Yeah, so that's what I'll say.
You've actually answered my next question. Anyway, talking about the courses you went ahead to do on your own on ESR, can you tell us a few of them? Yeah,
so I enrolled on leadership and management course on ESR. I did freedom to speak up on ESR.
So I didn't know that was even a course.
It is.
No, there is.
It is, and to be honest,
that is.
Oh yeah,
freedom to speak.
Yeah, but that is ESR as well, and it really helped me. I told someone I was doing freedom to speak. One white guy, you freedom to speak. You always speak your mind. Yes, so there are lots of courses on there on ESR.
All right, so I think we've come to the point where you guys get to know what her role is. She jump protocol, like swerving the normal routes. You get what I mean? Like from band 5 to wherever she is now. So she'll tell us what she's doing now.
So currently I'm working as a theatre clinical coordinator, and that's the band 7.
So you actually jumped from band 5 straight to band 7.
Yes.
Without taking the role of a band 6.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's impressive.
No. Doable. It is. It's just about being determined and knowing what you can do. And I would say I have been lucky to work with people who have acknowledged what they think I can do and what they think I bring on board. Students have come, and at the end of the shift, they come to you and tell you what your managers or your seniors have said about you.
Do you mean positive or negative?
No, positive.
Oh, okay.
Personally, I think my last appraisal with my manager, she told me that I see you as a manager. She thinks it's an inborn something, because I was a band 5, but I was leading the list, and my manager could see the difference in when I'm leading a list, even from some of the band 6 theaters, because she see how ready, and when I pick my list, how I am eager to get my list done and not lazy about. Go on my break and I come as I'm supposed to. But I've got other colleagues who think we can beat the system. I think we make a treat. Say anyway, Sean, Chrome Hana Yaban. Who say only brony and yapel. And only brony Jumana say, or no even other brony cranas or no free hanoma. Assemba, Moya Bibia Pepenas Assemba, who will color away Nekuta Wintino. Into Uya near Manoa son. Now when we say right things and I will wow uncle to brony. That's what I would say. And I think my account people will understand me.
Yeah, not being fair. My YouTube channel, we have
I would say is when you come into a new country, you just have to work and know that you're on a foreign land, and you play your cards very well. And you know you are there to do your work. Other people will try to be the system and have their way, but just know that you are there to do your work. You've been paid to do your work, and that's what you are there to do. And stand out. You want to be efficient, and that is the most important thing. You want to be productive, which I think when we are all applying for jobs, these are things we write on our CV. So why do you want to do different when you get on the job? You want to lazy about and think that people are not seeing you, your manager is not seeing you, or your manager is not around, they see and people will talk about it to them. So sometimes even recommendations, my current role, when I told my manager I had applied for a band 7 role, she wasn't supposed to be called because it's a theater coordinating role. And when I told her I had the interview, she was like, okay, on this day I'm not supposed to be coordinating, this person is, but I'm going to speak to that person and I'm going to coordinate with you that very morning. So this should tell you that I have proven myself within my team that I can do it, even though I haven't done it, but they believe that if I am given the chance, they believe I'll be able to do it and I'll be efficient. To be honest, your efforts and everything that you put into your work never go unnoticed. That's what I'll tell you. It will never go unnoticed. Now in my current role, you want to shuffle people around sometimes, and the managers will come to you and tell you that this person and this person I cannot combine them because this person is like this. They see everybody. You think your managers are not seeing you. You go on break and you don't get back early. You are always coming to work late and you sit about and talk and all that. They see everything. So don't think that, oh, my manager is not there, because the same people that you talk with, and sometimes they go behind other people or they come to talk to you about other people, they'll still go back to managers and talk to them. Or even your clinical leads are seeing everything and they are communicating to your managers. So you just have to really work hard. And to be honest, this is not something that is not doable. It's doable. It's just about being determined, persistent, being productive, efficient, and sometimes recommendation will even sell you out.
I don't know where I heard this, but I don't know if it's Nanel's video or something. There is this statement that keeps ringing in my mind.
Yeah.
Zoom, you've always got a camera on you. Like,
oh yeah, I think it's Nanel.
Yeah,
I think it's Nanel. Yeah, you're always being watched. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, you have to, because I have, like, as I spoke about my manager, I've got some clinical leads who constantly saw, and they will come to you, even sometimes in decision making. I was a band 5, but they will come to me and let's have a discussion on things. Yeah, it's not because I know everything, because my experience in theater was just for 2.5 years, and as I now I learn every day. It's not like I knew much in theaters, but they knew who I am or what I can do and how willing I am to learn and to be better. And these are things that managers will always look for. I'm not sure they are looking for an expert person or someone who is really knowledgeable. No, they are looking, because we've got people who are really knowledgeable or experienced in things, but when it comes to efficiency, they don't go close. They've got the experience and they are certain on it.
So we want to know some of the challenges you faced when you decided to take the step towards your new role and how you dealt with them.
So I'm just going to give a general background in specialities for the 3 core things that are being done in theater. So when you go into theater, we've got a scrub, we've got anesthesia, and we have recovery. And as a theater coordinator, I'm supposed to have general overview of all these 3 areas. And here I am, who have always done scrub in theaters. So I'm lacking in 2 areas. So that's a very big challenge. I'm not going to lie. And sometimes I'm like, oh God, sometimes I get overwhelmed. But to be honest, if you know me, I don't easily give up. So I'll keep pushing. And I think every day I learn. You don't want to be at a desk and somebody will come to you and ask you basic things about these other areas and you don't have an idea about it.
Yeah.
And I have been fortunate to have a supportive team that if I don't have an idea, I can always be like, okay, can I transfer you to this person? So there are other areas I can go around whilst I'm still learning. And I've spoken to my matron about shadowing on these other areas just to have a general overview of things. And they really appreciate and they understand that it's the right thing to do. And when I started, it was a bit scary because there was a point I thought, I don't think just with scrap is something that I can do. But as time went on, I got to realize that there were other people in the education team that were just scrap based. There were other people that have just been only anesthetic based. So it wasn't just me, and they were doing just fine. So it's something that I can do, and it's been great. I don't know if I can chip this in. During my interview, I made them know that I don't have knowledge in these specialities, but I am ready to learn. And from the things that I've spoken about that I have done, made them know that yes, I am someone who is ready and willing to take up challenges and learn. So this was some of the things that they knew. They were like, okay, we can give her a job.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned the same point in my supporting information video. You don't need to know everything.
No.
Yeah, you don't need to have knowledge about everything. You just need to tell them what you are doing about it. Whether you are going to book for it, whether you are ready to learn
up. Yeah,
that's all you need. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah,
basically.
And to be honest, when I applied for, I thought I was the only band 5 who had applied. Apparently, there was a band 6 that applied for this job as well. and didn't get it.
Hmm.
So as I said, I don't know if I can speak about this. When you're applying for a job, just apply and write a very good supporting information to be shortlisted. The moment you are shortlisted on that very specific day for interview, it doesn't matter if you've held that very position that is being advertised for like years and you've got the experience. Doing well at the very interview, you're going to be scored on that day, and it's based on that score that you get the job. So after you have been shortlisted, that shortlisting mark is gone. We don't add it to your day of interview. Your interview score is what gives you the job.
So you have to give in your all.
Yeah, prepare very well for your interview.
So the supportive statement doesn't come to play on your interview
day. No. So you have to make sure that on each step you are putting in your best, and don't assume that, oh, I've worked for this number of years, they should know the things I've done. No, speak about them. Speak about all the little achievements you have done. And I think I have not spoken about this. When new starters come into theatre, support workers and band fives or newly qualified, when I started, how to learn the instruments, the things you need was a bit of a challenge. So during my interview, this was a project I had started doing. I had started compiling lists for each case for new starters. So when I spoke about it at my interview, they were really impressed.
Yeah.
So every little thing you have done, don't let it go. Let them know. The thing that you think is not relevant, speak about it. That can land you probably your dream job.
Can you tell us how to stay informed about career progression?
Staying informed, I think there's so much information on the internet. One of the places I recommend is ASEAN website, where they post relevant courses, relevant information about nursing generally in the UK. And then, as I said, like country basis, I think we've got groups, and even trust basis, we've got groups where people post them on the pages. I know sometimes it can get a bit noisy with other things, but try to just scroll and just see what relevant information that have been posted, discussed. And when you go to your trust, the intranet, yeah, in my trust, mostly on the intranet, you see brief, is it brief or something, where when the screen goes locks, it keeps posting all these relevant information. So once in a while, just go onto the intranet where all relevant and courses are being posted on there, and speak to your education team. If there's anything that interests you, you can speak to your education team as well and let them know that this is something you want to do, and they'll chase it up for you. Or even with your manager, if it's something you have noticed and you want to do. Mostly in my trust, when you go to education team, you always have to have whatever you want to do on your appraisal. So during appraisal, make sure that whatever you want to do, so far it has to do with maybe you being spared some time off, or maybe some money being released for you, have it on your appraisal so that you can chase it out. Because my trust, when you go to education, they're going to ask you, do you have it on your appraisal? Those are some of the basic questions they'll ask you. So if you don't have it on your appraisal, they're expecting you to put on your next year's appraisal before it can be followed up.
So do you have any regrets?
No.
You feel overwhelmed?
No regrets. It's just like when I took that step into the UK here, I got here and I had no experience in theatres, and I went into theatres. There were days that I wept because it was too much for me. I felt I had gained my grounds in the world, and theatre was new. And people who have migrated into this part of the world will understand, where people expect you to know everything, and they expect you that this small thing you don't know, this is something that as a nurse you should know. I've not worked in theatres. How would I know?
Someone said, if you come to the UK and you haven't cried, then you're rich.
There was a day I went home and told my husband that no, I'm going back to my manager the next morning to tell my manager that no, I want to go to the ward. Theatre wasn't for me. And I went to speak to my manager, and she was like, who made you cry? What is the problem? Talk to me. And I had to tell my manager the things that has happened. It was too much for me. And whoever was involved was being laid off for about 2-3 months to be investigated. And it wasn't just me who had complained about that person. Other people had complained. So there was an investigation that had to be carried out. Other people couldn't go to testify. But personally, no, I went and I said the things that had happened, the racist comments and how that person makes you feel like invalid, so jump and stop it. This person today sees me and I don't know how to express it. When I was leaving, you could see expressions he made and the expression he has even made to some of my colleagues, that I'm one of the trusted colleagues. And when I started, that opportunity wasn't given to me. He expected me to know everything at once. But it doesn't work like that. So for me, I'm just going to encourage people. It's not easy. People are going to look down on you because there are things that they are like, you're a nurse, you should know. Now, how do I know? I need to learn. I'm coming from a different environment. Some of the things I don't have in my home country, I've learned it in books. I need to practice them. And one of the things I will always tell other people, like international nurses, if you are coming from a country like Ghana, most of the time, racism is something that you cannot let go. But one thing I'm happy about is NHS is constantly fighting racism. So if people make racist comments towards you, have your evidence and speak about it. Speak to your manager about it. Be able to, don't let people bully you and let them go scot-free, and people telling you that, oh, this person is like that. No, you need to be able to do your work and do it efficiently. So you need to speak to somebody for them to put that person in its rightful place so that you can do your work. So far as people are looking down on you, you are not being efficient, and that is always going to go against you. So you have to speak up.
I've had my own share of that.
Yeah, you need to speak up. Sometimes people who talk about you, or they don't really know what is going on. They don't even know some of the things people have gone through. People have left their 3 months babies to come into the UK to come and work. They've got a lot going on, but these people have no clue. So if you are being bullied, speak up.
So what are your last words for us?
Try to stay relevant, work hard, and if there's an opportunity, don't tell yourself that this post or this one has been created for somebody, because these are some things I've heard. I've heard people be like, oh, there's this band 6 post they have advertised, but I think they've prepared this person for it. No, they haven't prepared anybody. Go for it. Make sure that you have written a very good supporting information, and if you need help from anybody, you just go forth. Sometimes we just want to do things by ourselves. No, sometimes we need help. You need people to help you to be able to get that dream job. It's like going for an interview. You need to speak to people who have been there before for them to give you the experience. So always try to speak to people, learn from people, not being jealous for what. And there are so many opportunities in the UK, I would say. I know some people are just for more migrate here for different countries. But even with that, it's not like where we are coming from, where some of these experiences when you get here, it doesn't count. If you have some of these experiences within the UK and you travel to Australia, Canada, US, it's still relevant. There's an opportunity, just grab it.
Grab any opportunity, stay relevant, and speak up.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for this lovely interview. Personally, I've learned a lot. I've picked up a few things that I didn't know. I hope you've also had your share. Our Ghanaian sister is making us proud. She is the richest Ghanaian nurse.
There's been difference in the salary, remember?
Yes.
You don't have to do overtime. There's difference. I don't think you don't have to do overtime to get to that side. Like,
yeah.
Not bad.
All right, so it's been a pleasure having you on our channel, and we hope to see you more frequently. The next time we interview you, you'll be band 9. Until my next video, stay awesome.